What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's show. I'm super excited. Today we're talking all about video encoders. If you're new here, you're watching Remote Producer Live, and I'm Kimberly Flowers, the remote producer, teaching you how you can create more amazing looking, compelling live streams for your clients, okay? So if you are watching us, no matter what platform you're watching us on, I always love to hear from you guys as we're kind of going through this. If you have questions, make sure that you put them in the comments area of today's broadcast, and I will be answering them throughout today's broadcast. So we're talking all about video encoders. What is a video encoder, and what are some use cases for maybe using an external video encoder in combination with Restream, right? And so, as you know, Restream itself, Restream Studio, is its own video encoder. So why would you need to use an additional video encoder with Restream, and how can that help you save on resources? How can that help you create some more customized things? We're going to find out in today's episode. So make sure that you share this out. If for whatever reason you know someone else who needs to be watching this broadcast, guys, don't be selfish. Share it out with somebody, share it out with a friend as we kind of go through today, okay? Let's see you guys in the chat. Oh my, okay, that's a lot there. Okay, I'm gonna hide that. But I can see you guys are in the chat, and that's really cool. Tell us where you're from. Robert, welcome to the broadcast. Tell us in the comment section where you're from, where you're watching us from. I always love to hear and know where you guys are watching us from. So it's almost the end of the year, and you guys are already thinking about how you're going to show up more powerfully with live stream in 2021. And throughout the 2021, we're going to be showing you like how to do this step by step. But I want to introduce, for those of you that are not familiar already, like the power of using a video encoder to customize some things about your broadcast. So let's kind of take a look at this. Welcome, David. Welcome, Active LA. Welcome, you guys. Malik. Welcome, Joshua, to the broadcast. I'm super excited that you guys are here. So talking about video encoders, okay? Oh, you're from Montana, watching from your living room. That's the best place to be right about now. And I am kind of going to move over here really quickly because I want to show you guys some things, okay? So what is a video encoder? Like, I want to talk to you about what a video encoder is. Essentially, a video encoder allows you to compress. Let's see if I have this on here. I do. It's a hardware or software that allows you to compress those videos that you're creating so that they're able to be seen and viewed across multiple social media platforms, as well as, you know, on different devices. Okay, you guys. And so that is like some of the power of a video encoder. But aside from just having this basic capability, it also allows you to be able to do some really cool customized capabilities for your live stream broadcast. Okay, so when I'm talking about customized capabilities, like what exactly are we talking about? One of the reasons why we use an external video encoder along with Restream is because our clients are looking for very specific branded, you know, to their company. Like they have to have custom layouts and custom special effects and things like that. And so if you're looking to up level like how you're doing your client's broadcast, like if your client just needs a basic like, you know, this 2 people, multiple like guest or something like that, then Restream Studio is going to be able to do that, because just even within Restream Studio, they have some really cool like overlays and, you know, graphics and things that you guys can do. So like this is how we're able to do stuff like this and like this and like this, like right inside of Restream Studio. And one of the cool things about Restream Studio is that it actually doesn't take a lot of computer power to make something like this happen for your clients. And so when you start thinking about like, you know, up leveling this a little bit more, if your client needs they need a very professional, polished, customized look and branded elements inside of the broadcast, then that's when you want to start thinking about using an external encoder, because then you're only limited by your creativity as to what you can actually do with that video encoder, right? Like, so you're able to, like I said, create some custom layouts and some custom scenes. Now, this is an example of like a scene, like within a video encoder. And we'll talk about this particular video encoder that we're using here in a little bit, but and as well as some free ones that you guys can get your hands on so that you can start to activate and apply what you're learning even today, okay? But so let's just take a look. I just want to kind of give you some more examples about how you can use these different scenes, right? So let's look at some different capabilities here. And just, you know, being able to do stuff like this is really going to be, you know, it's going to help you. So you want to use green screen. As you can see in one of our clients' videos here, he's using green screen. You can do this live for your clients using an external video encoder. You can also create, you know, customized, where is it? Countdowns, you know what I mean? And graphics and all kinds of like insert video. Again, you can do that as well as be able to add like customized lower thirds, you know, for your broadcast. You know, pop-up graphics, like both still and animated, you know, pop-up graphics that can help you to talk about different products that your client is having, or talk about, you know, different sponsors products that they're having. Like all of these different things can be added. And a lot of these things you can, some of these things that you can add like directly into Restream Studio. But when it comes to layouts and different custom designs and brand colors and all of these different things, it starts to become something that, you know, your client is ready to pay a professional to do. This is why you're making the money that you are in this industry, because you're able to customize the look of their broadcast specifically to their needs. Is everybody with me so far as to the capabilities and the things that you can really start to think about when it comes to you producing your live streams for clients, right? So in addition to that, if you're doing like multi-cam presentations, like where you need multiple cameras or multiple audio tracks in one particular broadcast, because maybe your client needs to have a video, they need to have audio underneath them while they're talking. Maybe you're doing a game show. We've done game shows and things like that where, you know, you have music playing at the same time, you have buzzer effects, you have all of these different things that need to happen for your broadcast. If you need to do those kinds of things, guys, then I'm going to recommend that you use an external video encoder with Restream, and I'm going to show you how that works right now, okay? So we've talked about some of the capabilities. And again, guys, I'm trying to keep up with you guys in the chat as well. Motown, yay. All right. Streamlabs OBS. Yes. Let's talk about that one. So let's talk about what some of the video encoders are. Okay. So one of the more popular ones and a free tool that you guys can use, obviously, is OBS. It's open broadcast software. You can go, you can find that free software tool over at OBS. You just Google OBS and it'll come right up. And it's a free software. It's available for download for Mac and PC users. So that is what makes it a really unique tool. Another one that I like is called Wirecast. Wirecast is a really good one. It is a paid version. It is a paid software, as well as Vmix. Okay. So with these, you know, 3 different software, and you don't have to use them all at the same time. If you're using one, you don't need the other one. Okay. And I'll talk about some of the benefits of like, why would you pay for one if there's a free one, right? So open broadcast software is really amazing. Like, honestly, they have stepped up their game when it comes to all of the different capabilities and things that you can do when it comes to creating customized layouts, when it comes to creating scenes like special effects and stinger transitions. For those of you that don't remember what a stinger transition is, let's take a look at this really quickly. If you're going from one scene to another, your client needs to go from one scene to another. Ooh, that one got stuck. Let's see if we can try that again. Okay. We're moving from, let's just say, this scene here. We have a picture-in-picture back to our regular. There you go. Now that's working properly. Stinger transitions and all of these different things can happen using your video encoder. So OBS does a really good job at, you know, providing the capability for you to do this at a very professional looking level. However, OBS is like, the software itself is created by multiple, like it has multiple hands in it, and it's open source software, which means there's a lot of people editing and a lot of people, making revisions to that software. So the customer service is not that great. Like you basically have to go through forums and look online if you're having an issue when it comes to whatever it is that you're trying to do. You have to look up different hacks and different ways of doing that. That can become super stressful if you're doing this, like people are paying you to do this, right? Because you don't have time to basically look, go through all of these learning curves. And if something, sometimes if something is updated, then something else might fail. Like it's not the most sure, like it's not the most, what is the word I'm looking for? Safe, I'll say, software to use if you're doing this as a professional agency. However, it does work, and it does work well. Like, so if you're just wanting to know, like, how can I start to do this, for my clients, and how can I make it look, even if you want to go to OBS and just kind of test out all of the different functions and capabilities, guys, you can do live green screen. I don't know if I already talked about that, but stinger transitions, pop-up graphics, animated pop-up graphics, like all of those different things that you love to see in a broadcast, and you're wondering how that gets done. It's through these external encoders, okay? And they allow you to just customize your broadcast even further. So encoders come at different levels. Each of them can come, like I said, it's a software or it can be hardware, right? Certain companies will sell like a literal piece of hardware that looks like a digital computer, right? It just looks, most of them look like a little VCR, but like for those of you that know what a VCR is from back in the day. Anyways, it looks like a little VCR, but it has like all of these different capabilities. It's basically its own computer or streaming, like a dedicated streaming computer that is for live stream, okay? What is the one Teradek that has, they have like a really cool, oh my gosh, I cannot think of the name of it right now. Anyways, hardware or software. Software is more like OBS. We talked about something that you can download to your already computer and, maximize the use of this functionality. And then you have paid software like Wirecast. One of the reasons like I like Wirecast, and I'm going to talk about Vmix here in a little bit because I do like Vmix too, but Wirecast is able to be used across multiple different platforms. So you're able to use it on Mac and PC. They also have like, some more customized customer service when it comes to like troubleshooting things. And again, one of your biggest roles is going to be troubleshooting when things go wrong for your clients, okay? Or when things are, supposed to be working and they're not working for whatever reason. Like if you're not very tech savvy yourself, then you want to make sure that you have a tech help when it comes to that. And so I like Wirecast because it does give you like a yearly option to be able to have tech support for your broadcast. Okay. And that's one of the reasons why we use Wirecast. One of the other ones is Vmix. Vmix is a super powerful software, a broadcast software encoder that allows you all of these same capabilities, but it is for PC use. Okay. So if you're a PC user, you're a strong PC user, you're probably going to be preferring the Vmix option, but it can't be used for Mac. So that's one thing to think about. Okay. And when you're thinking about building your whole studio and thinking about like all of the different hardware and software, you want things to be compatible with other things. And so I mentioned these three because they are, the most compatible across all of the different, platforms that you're going to be needing to go live to. But again, like one of the cool things about, even if your computer was not just necessarily compatible with, like YouTube has their own specific requirements, Periscope has their own specific requirements, like all of the different LinkedIn, they all have their own specific streaming requirements. And one of the reasons why I love to use Restream is because they fulfill all those requirements, and you can like massively decrease the amount of energy that your computer has to spend trying to go live to multiple sources from the software itself by using Restream as the distribution output to all those different places. So if you promised your client, hey, we're going to go live to, on multiple different platforms, you can definitely do that inside of the video external software. But if you do, expect an increase on CPU. And what I mean, like computer processing power, it's going to be using more power. So if your computer, you're just starting out, you don't really have a mega streaming computer just yet, I want to encourage you to use something like Restream, to where that power is like basically off set to the Restream online software area, so that you're just not using nearly as much computer power. And you'd be surprised how much computer power it actually takes just to go live to multiple different platforms from the software itself. So I could do a whole like episode on understanding CPU and understanding maybe why you are using certain software, but it seems like the computer power is just being used up so high for small little tasks, right? And one of the reasons is that you're not offsetting. Like, you want to use, when you start getting a more professional setup, there's certain things that you can offload, certain processing things that you can offload from one computer to another. Okay, does that make sense? So that instead of using like 90% of the power on that one machine, you can use multiple machines and offload this processing power for this and this processing power for this. So like if we have a whole dedicated graphics computer for customized client broadcast. Now, again, guys, you may not need all of this kind of stuff that we have, and maybe we'll do the beginning of the year. I want to do like a studio tour so that you guys can see kind of like the setup that we have. But again, like, you may not need a bunch of different hardware pieces. If you're just starting out and your client just needs some basic things that Restream Studio can already take care of, then definitely just use Restream Studio, right? But if for whatever reason you're needing some customized animations and things like that, that Restream Studio doesn't already have in place, then you can definitely use it in combination with Restream to kind of get all of the things that you're needing for that. Okay. I need to make this bigger so I can see what I'm doing here. All right. So we talked about what is a video encoder, and basically it compresses your video so that it's able to be viewed across the multiple different platforms, but it also allows you some very special capabilities. And so we talked about, let me turn off the stinger transition. Let me just go to a regular one. All right. What some of those custom things are. So we talked about custom effects, custom scene layouts, multiple audio tracks, and multiple camera capabilities. Okay. So, and what this means again for your live stream. So like if you have a client that's coming in on one source, but you want to have multiple different layouts, even for that one source, then you need a video encoder to be able to do that. And let me see if I can show you kind of an example. In this video here, you'll see that we have some scrolling text happening. There's a custom lower third. There's green screen happening. If we move, like, we just wait for it for a second, you'll see like a different layout here. And there's multiple different layouts that you can use. So like if he needs to be next to his PowerPoint, or, you want to just show the PowerPoint while the person is talking, like all of these different things are super easy when you're able to use a video encoder and just basically use these different effects for what it is that you're trying to do. Okay. So we do create our own custom layouts and things like that for the client, depending on their need. Okay. So now that we've talked about that, let's talk about connecting an external video encoder with your Restream.io. Okay. And there are definitely like two different ways that you can do this. Okay. The first way that you can do this is obviously you can, go over to Restream Studio, go to the RTPM settings, and you'll connect that with your software. So I'm going to show you this process. We're going to do a screen and screen because I know y'all love that so much. But to stay with me as we kind of do this, okay? Where is my screen and screen? Okay, here it is. So as you can see, this is like going infinite here, but we are in, because we're actually using this Wirecast. So this is Wirecast, and this is kind of like the workflow here. And as you can see, there's multiple scenes. And again, within each scene, there are specific sources. So one thing to know about in video encoders that are more like the customized, I would say, video encoders is that most of them are divided up into scenes and sources, right? So scenes and sources. So a scene is essentially like all of the different broadcast elements that are go into that one shot. So it could be a source of me, it could be a source of me and graphics, like something like that, right? And all of these different things work in layers, right? So there's the video layer, there is the background layer here and this kind of thing, and you see like there's also text layers happening on this particular scene. Okay, so going back here, you can see here at the bottom this area. Let me see if I can just kind of blow this up a little bit so you guys can see the scenes and stuff. Okay, so these are all the different scenes that you're looking at me from inside of Wirecast. And so whenever I click a different scene, then you're able to see that thing, right? So going back, I click a different scene, you're able to see that. Okay, and as you can see right now, like in the actual, one thing I want to make a specific note of here, right, is that although inside of Wirecast here, and this is with any software, okay, whether you're using OBS or Vmix or, you know, Wirecast or something like that, you can actually see at the top area, there are buttons here to tell me that I can go live. This one also has a really cool feature. We'll talk about ISO recording in a different episode, but you can record and stream to the different platforms that you want to stream live to. Okay. Now, one thing to remember about this process, like, as you can see in Wirecast right now, we're not streaming live. Like, we're not using Wirecast to stream live to. We're actually using Restream Studio because we've connected these two things this way. So the first way that I'm going to show you how to do that is the way that we did it here. Okay. So you're seeing the output of what's inside of Wirecast inside of Restream Studio. Let's talk about how to do that. Okay. Let's actually just show you how to do that. So if you go over here to, let's go to restream.io. And then inside of Restream Studio, let's see if I can, hold on real quick. I'm actually going to, yeah. So you'll hit enter the studio or whatever. And you want to make sure that you have selected in this area the right camera and the right video. So here, I can switch out the camera. So right now we're using Wirecast virtual camera. Okay. But if it's using just my webcam here, this is kind of what the regular output is. Like, this is without color correction. This is without, being able to cut to any of those other different scenes. We're not inside of the external video encoder at this point. We're just inside of Restream Studio. Okay. But if I want a different look, like we want to connect this with Wirecast, the way that you do that is hit the settings area. Well, first things first. Okay, let's move over here. I want to show you exactly step by step. The first thing that you want to do is go to your settings tab inside of Restream here. Okay, I'm inside of Wirecast. Okay. Sorry. So we're going to go over to Wirecast, and I'm going to show you guys this. I'm actually going to go to, in Wirecast, you can see that it has output. You want to hit virtual camera out. We're already using it, so it's just going to tell me to stop it. But if it wasn't on, it would give you an option to say virtual camera out. So you would click that, and then that would turn virtual camera out on. And what that does is allows other software to be able to use the software Wirecast or OBS. This does work in OBS as well. They have their own virtual cam out, and you're able to read, like it allows Restream Studio to be able to read that whole output that you have on Wirecast as its own camera. Okay. So it's just taking the output of this particular broadcast, which is this area on the right-hand side here. Let's see if you can see that. Okay. This just, it goes into an infinite window because you can't see it while I'm doing it. You're looking at that camera actually. But as you can see, whatever's happening in this window here, and I'm going to switch it up. You have the preview window, and then you have the actual output window. So whatever is being seen on the output window is what you guys are seeing right now. Okay. So once you have selected, again, going to output, go to virtual camera out, and make sure you have virtual camera selected. Once you do that, then you want to go into Restream Studio, okay? And I'm going to show you how to select that. So I'm going to actually do this. Y'all excuse the infinite because there's no other way I can do this and show it to you. So as you can see, we're now in Restream Studio here. What you want to do is look at these bottom icons here and make sure you hit the settings icon. Then select Wirecast Virtual Camera, right? And once you do that, then anything that's showing inside of Wirecast or inside of OBS or inside of Vmix, you will be able to plainly see that right here, okay? So it'll show up as an option here. You make sure that you select that camera. And then for audio, as you can see inside of Wirecast here, although I have lots of video files, here, I actually have 0 audio inside of here. And the reason why is because I'm actually using the audio from Restream Studio so that you guys are able to hear me. So we are using the Shure mic. I just selected the Shure mic. And then once you're done with that, all you have to do is push this button to go live. And now your audience can see whatever they need to see for the broadcast that's happening inside of that external video encoder. Again, the purpose of doing that is because your video encoder, external video encoder, is going to allow for some of those custom layouts, animated graphics, animated stinger transitions, things like that, to really help enhance or customize, I would say, the look of the broadcast for your clients. If they're very like big on brand, especially bigger companies, they really want to stay on brand when it comes to their broadcast. They don't just want something that looks like everybody else's broadcast. Obviously, if they were doing that, they could just do it themselves, but they're hiring you to do it because they know you're going to help them to create something that stays on brand and that's super professional and, you know, looks really good. Okay. And again, it's just another thing that they don't have to worry about, right? When it comes to like doing this process, most of them just want to jump in front of the computer and, you know, plug in and be able to say, hey, you know, do their broadcast. And meanwhile, you're in the background switching camera angles, switching, you know, graphics on and off, special effects, transitions. You're doing all of that. That is what a remote producer does, right? So you're allowing your client to get in front of their camera, and in the background, you are doing all of the work as it pertains to like switching different scenes and, you know, getting their guest on board and, you know, lower thirds, all of that stuff is what you're doing. This is your job, right? Okay, so now that you guys are clear on that process, and I want to stress, like you might be saying, Kimberly, like if the video encoder itself just says that you can just go live with hitting that button, why would you have to connect it to Restream Studio so that you're not, why would you want to connect it to Restream Studio, like to go live? Couple of different reasons. One, when I go live to Restream Studio, like when I go live through Restream Studio, I'm able to go to multiple different platforms at once without using a bunch of computer power. Like if I were to turn on this is not my studio computer that we use obviously for clients broadcast. This is just like a computer that I'm using for my own, you know, broadcast for you guys. But this computer is like an older computer. So if I were to actually like go live, my CPU, let me just show y'all this. Okay. Do you see here at the bottom? Let's kind of like make this bigger so you can kind of see exactly what I'm showing you here. But at this bottom area right here, do y'all see that? Where it says app CPU? Right now, it's only using 8% of the processing power. What it means is that this computer is only using 8% of the processing power just to display the images that I'm displaying from scene to scene right now. But if I were to hit record on the actual software right now, it would jump up to like 70% of the processing power, just because this computer is an older computer and it's not really designed for like heavy streaming. Okay. So one of the kind of things about like using these external software is that if you're not careful, you can get like a bunch of different things happening on that particular software, and suddenly you're using all your processing power to do some of the most basic things. Okay, so you want to keep that app CPU low, and one of the little workarounds to being able to do that is to connect it to Restream Studio. Let Restream Studio be the horsepower for pushing that broadcast out to the different platforms, and using just your computer to, you know, create some of these custom scenes, layouts, and animated effects. Are y'all still with me? If you're still with me in the comment section, guys, let me know. Say, Kimberly, I'm still with you. I'm going with you. So let's see what we have. Is Restream Studio, some questions, implementing some of those features as Wirecast has? Yeah, definitely. Like, they are constantly coming out with different new features. And I think ultimately, you know, the goal being that you can do your broadcast, like, ultimately so that you can maybe have your whole studio, Restream Studio, right there through an internet software thing, which is one of the powerful uses of Restream. Okay. At the end, it's another web-based encoder. Yes, that is true. So if I use Restream, let's see what you guys are saying. Then do I need Ecamm? Sorry about that. Why or why not? Very good question. So like I told you guys earlier, each one of these software, each encoder comes different with different capabilities. So me telling you the right encoder that you're going to need is really based on what it is you're trying to do. Does that make sense? So like if you have basic functional needs, then you may need basic functional software applications to get that done. If you need more customized capabilities, then you definitely want to invest in software that is going to be, you know, more powerful or be able to do the things that you need it to do, right? So like I said, Restream Studio, they have capability for like multiple guests. They have some of their own layouts and things like that. So this is really a question of branding, I would think, more than anything else, right? So when it comes to your own specific type of branding or the client's branding, like if they need things to match their color schemes, they need things to match their they need motion graphics, like anything motion and animated, and, you know, as it pertains to like graphics, like animated graphics or animated backgrounds or animated transitions, like that's where you would use these other encoders in connection with Restream. Okay, does that kind of answer your question? I hope that I'm, you know, that you guys are understanding this as I go along. And again, I am answering questions in the comments area for you guys. We only have about a few more minutes during this process, so I'm going to kind of go through the other way of how you can connect it through Wirecast itself. So if you do want to go live through Wirecast and you have a computer that's powerful enough to do that, you can both record and stream through, you know, OBS, right? But I would still say I'm going to connect Restream to this platform, to like OBS or something like that, using this other system. And the reason why I'm using this system, just before we even get into it, is because, again, when it comes to the horsepower of being able to broadcast to multiple different platforms, I can tell you right now, like if you're trying to go live from any software, even the most professional type of software, unless you're using like legit like hardware that is like its own dedicated computer, then that goes out to multiple different platforms, even then, you guys, like wherever you can save computer power, like you definitely want to do it. And I think for me, Restream has been one of those platforms that helps me save computer power and helps me add to the visibility of what I'm doing in a way that doesn't kill my my computer. Okay, so let's take a look at this process. So I'm actually going to go back into Wirecast, and I'm going to show you the second way that you can connect your Restream broadcast, your Restream to this external video encoder. Okay, so let's have a little look-see here. All right, now we're back into Wirecast. I'm going to show you how to do this on Wirecast, and then if I have time, I'm going to show you how to do it in OBS. We're definitely going to do OBS. We're just going to take time, okay? So in here, all you have to do is go to Output, go to Output Settings. It doesn't like that I'm opening that up. You know what? I'm actually going to, I don't want to risk it. Let's see. Okay, so you would select, it gives you multiple different destinations to select. As you can see in here are lots of different outsources or places that you can, destinations that you can stream to. So we have, you know, Facebook, Vimeo, Twitch, like all of these different things, live stream, like you got Facebook Live, all of these different places that you can go live to. What you would do is connect via the RTPM server. Okay, so you're going to hit OK there. And then what you want to do is make sure, this is an encoding settings thing, but I like to go 720, 30 frames a second, 4 megs at H.264, okay? That's a small file size that shouldn't give you a lot of problems. As it pertains to video power, computer power, okay? So let's go back over here. And then you want to copy this address. As you can see, it's asking for an address of the place that you want to go live to. So this is a custom thing. So we're going to connect it to Restream. So in order to do that, we need to go over to Restream. And as you can see here, we'll go to Dashboard. And then right over here on the right-hand side, there's an area that says Streaming Software, RTPM Settings. So you'll just click that, copy that directly into the area of your output settings inside of Wirecast. So in here, we're back in here. And this is the same as for OBS. We're going to go through OBS in just a moment after this. So you just paste that right into there. Then it's asking you also for a stream key, okay? And you want to, all you have to do is go back to Restream's area here. And then you just want to copy where it says stream key. Just copy that. And going back into Wirecast here, we are just going to paste that directly. Now it's ready to go. When I press OK here, it's ready now to go directly into, like if I hit the streaming button right now, it would go to whatever Restream platforms I have connected. Whatever Restream platforms I have connected to it. Okay. And so that way I'm able to go live to one place instead of like 5 places or 10 places on my, computer directly. And now the software via internet service is basically taking care of that process of output and making sure that the video is compressed and that it's going to all the different software and all the different mobile devices and whatever, you know, digital devices your audience is watching you from. Okay. So that's how that works inside of Wirecast. Let's take a look at OBS. I'm going to open up OBS. I really hate opening up a lot of like, software in here just because, again, this is an older computer. Okay. So, but what I'm going to do is kind of go back here and I'm going to show you what Kimberly is doing over here. Okay. So let's take a look at our OBS here. Okay. So as you can see, OBS, this is just a basic version of OBS. And this is a platform. It looks very similar to the Wirecast platform. And as I said before, it is divided into, hold on, before I do that, I'm just going to create a little area where you guys can see me and see what's going on, okay? I don't want you guys to be lonely over here. Hold on real quick. Let's see. I'm going to make myself smaller, put myself over here. Boom. Okay. And actually, maybe I'll put myself over here. Nope, I'll put myself. See all the different places I can put myself? That's pretty cool. I'm actually going to crop myself and so that I'm not taking up too much of the screen here, okay? All right, so you guys can see me there, and you should also be able to see my screen. I may have made myself too small, but you don't need to be seeing me because it's not really about me. All right, so like let's now go back to OBS, okay? So inside of OBS, as you can see, it has the same kind of things. So you have this area for preview, you have this area of program output, which is basically the area that the clients or whatever that the audience will see, okay? So everything is kind of divided into scenes and sources. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm not gonna add myself because I don't want it to mess up my screen here. Okay, so like we already have scenes here. So I'm going to select scene. I'm going to add something to just so you guys can see. Maybe we'll add, let's just add an image so you guys can see that. Okay. And I'm going to just add maybe our, okay. I'm just going to add a random image here so that you guys can see what that looks like. Okay, cool. That's fine. I'm going to drag it bigger just by dragging it down like that, and then hit transition, and you'll see, oops, this is actually, yeah, I was showing you one of the other scenes. But again, this is an example of a scene that can be created. And again, each one of these areas, like you can layer up things and put things behind it and all of these different things. So just by hitting the add, and you can add a bunch of different images here, right? So let's just add another image just so you can kind of see the power of this thing. And then I'm going to show you really quickly. So I'm going to add this as my background here, right? Just a little pink background. I'm going to drag it up in the preview window. And then since it's in front of it, I'm actually going to drag my other one down. I don't really want that right now. Okay. So then as you can see here, when I go into this area, then now you have, like, see how customized this can get? I just want you guys to know that you're really only limited by your creativity when it comes to what it is that you're actually going to create for the client, okay? So these kind of video encoders allow you to do just a bunch of different things. I can layer anything on this and make that go live to the broadcast. So how do we make it go live using Restream? Okay, so the first thing that you want to do, again, this is in studio mode, but you want to go to settings here, okay? And let me just make sure that you guys are with me. Yeah, you are. Okay, good. You want to go to settings here. You want to go to output, same as on Wirecast, right? You want to set your software here, and that's fine for now for the purpose of this. We're just going to kind of keep it there. And you have specific, hold on one second. Hang on one moment. So let me save a stream, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Oh, okay. Going back. Oh, you guys can't see the screen anymore because you're looking at me. Okay, so let's look at the screen. All right, so as you can see here, if you go to stream, you go to settings. Let's just X out just in case you missed it. Go to settings. So we'll double click that. That will pop up. General settings will pop up. You want to go to stream settings. You want to go here and select a specific type of one, right? So we have Restream IO already set up there. And then it's going to ask for the stream key, right? So the server, the stream key. So all you would need to do is, again, go back to going back here to, I'm getting confused, all of the windows open. But anyways, you go back to Restream Studio here, and you'll just, again, hit that RTPM settings area, copy that stream key, and place it right into the stream key area, and then select OK here, okay? And that's as easy as it is. I'm not going to save the changes just because I don't want this computer like getting crazy on us because I got all these software applications open on this older PC, okay? All right, but questions so far, guys? That's super easy, and it's something that you can apply literally right now go download the software, connect it to Restream or connect it to directly through Restream Studio, and start outputting some really amazing broadcasts with customized animated broadcast graphics and all of the different stinger transitions, whatever it is that you want to do. Again, for those of you that are just starting out, you may not need all of this, right? You may just need something that will allow you to, like, that already Restream Studio already has in place, with all of their different overlays and things like that, that will help you to create something that's even in Restream. I want to point out, you can also do like customized lower thirds, customized graphics, still graphics within that process. So guys, I want to hear from you. You've heard from me now. I want to know, did you find that helpful? Did you find that helpful? And if you did, make sure that in the comment section, you are letting me know, say, Kimberly, I found this helpful. And it's really all I have for you today. We are just a little bit over time, but I'm super glad that we were able to actually get through all of that. So if you, again, guys, if you are thinking about really customized broadcast elements that your clients have been asking you about, can I do this? Can I do that? Then you may want to start thinking about connecting your video encoder with Restream to get the job done. And that's all I have for you. I'm Kimberly Flowers, remote producer. And I want to thank you guys for watching. I know you could have been anywhere else in the world. The fact that you decided to be here makes me dedicated to making sure that this is an awesome use of your time. If you enjoyed today's show, put Kimberly, I've enjoyed it, and tell me in the comment section other things that you want to know about and other things that you'd like for me to cover during these episodes, and we'll make sure that we get to them. Until then, you guys, make it an awesome holiday season. I want to say thank you again, and happy holidays to all of you. This is the last broadcast that we're doing before Christmas, and we'll see you again after the holiday season. And so make sure that you save me some pie. Make sure that you save me some bubbly too. All right, you guys, I'll see you in the next episode. I'm like toggling all over the place, as you can see. So forgive me when I'm looking down. I'm just toggling. I'm not disrespecting you. I love that you're here. And I love that you made the time to be here so far. So again, guys, post your comments in the comments area, and I will go through comments that I wasn't able to get to on the broadcast and, give some resources, add some value to your lives. Until then, I just want to say thank you and goodbye.